Men period conference to just rope in the men folk in as far as menstrual hygiene is concerned. There we had Esther Kimemia from Mombasa, who is a menstrual health advocate and an author, saying that we need to have these conversations and not waiting for too late. Steve Oiti from Kisumu County, as well as Martin and Mutua there, and once again Kevin Karuga. Thank you very much for your contribution, as well as Puris Muratani, a father of 4, who says he's had this conversation with his children and they have helped him execute his mandate as a father. Thank you very much. I'm Regina Manyara. Let's have this conversation once again next week.
Time for our last conversation this morning. We want to talk about gospel music in this country. We want to better find out the evolution of this industry, how it has been now and how it was back in the day. Joining me on set, Mercy Ivy, a gospel artist, gospel minister. Good morning, Mercy.
Morning, how are you?
How are you doing this morning?
I'm good.
You look chilled, a bit calm.
Not really, I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay, before we delve deeper into understanding the evolution of the gospel industry, there's this conversation of the difference between gospel minister and a gospel artist. Is there a difference?
It depends with the definition of gospel music and gospel minister. I think for me, I'll call myself a gospel minister.
Not a gospel artist?
Not a gospel artist. Because I minister the word of God through music. So that's me, yes.
So when you say you are a gospel minister, when someone says they are a gospel minister, this is about ministering.
Yes.
And when someone says they're a gospel artist, then what does it mean?
It's okay. I think it's one and the same thing.
Okay.
But I think a gospel minister is more, it carries a lot of weight and seriousness than the gospel singer. You see, you can be a singer. It depends. You can be an entertainer.
Okay.
So it depends.
Gospel minister carries a lot of weight. That's
somehow, yeah.
Somehow.
To me.
Okay, to
not
you.
To everybody, yes.
So that you've really clarified that is just according to you as a person.
According to me.
Okay, let's dig deeper into the evolution of gospel ministry, because right now there's a lot of conversation in regards to how it was then, how it is now. There's quite a lot of disparity.
Yes.
From your perspective, when you look at how it was then and how it is now, do you spot any difference?
Yeah, there's a lot of difference.
Where's the difference?
The difference is, you remember like sometime back, our gospel mothers and fathers, Kina Ruben Kigame, Kina Sarake, Kina Meriatieno. You see, I think there's a foundation they've really laid for us, because at this particular moment, things are much easier for us than the way they used to be for them. You see, in their era, music was all about going to churches with your CDs and just like walking, doing like you have to knock in each and every person's door. In each and every person. You had to hustle
before you make it.
You hustle, like that's the word.
Yeah.
You hustle before you make it. But now you see, for us, we have social media platforms where you just share a link. And your song reaches like maybe thousands of people, millions of people, depending.
Things are quite easy now.
Yeah, things are quite easy.
That is just one facet or one aspect of it. But when you say, when you talk about laying foundation and trying to say that gospel ministers of back in the day, and you've mentioned quite a couple of them, that they laid foundation, at least that for you now you can be able to step into that and at least try to make your way. What do you mean by saying foundation? What exactly does that mean? What did they do?
You see, for them, they were, I'm not saying we are not prayerful at the moment, but for them, you see, they were more prayerful. I think for them, being prayerful and also just their persistence, their motive of doing music was quite different from our generation at this moment. So you see, for them, they were doing music for a reason and a purpose. They were not doing music for entertainment and just for them, for the sake of being celebrities. Because if you look, sometimes back, if you look at their videos, like 10 years back, you're like, okay, this person has really changed. And you see, for us, we are like, we want baked stuff, raka. And for them, you see.
And tomorrow I'm everywhere.
Yeah. I want like to sing today, tomorrow I'm on TV, I'm a celeb, I'm getting money, you see. And also the motive. Most of us are doing gospel music for a very wrong reason.
Okay.
That is maybe financial stability. You want to get money. You want to you want to hit. Yeah.
You want to be known.
You want to be known. You want to be big in this country. You want to like rubbing shoulders with kina Masi Masika.
We call it big in this industry.
Exactly.
In this industry.
Exactly. Before you reach where kina Masi Masika, kina Eunice Njeri are, they've really invested their time, their finances, their almost everything.
Well, you've raised quite very pertinent issues that I really want us to break down a bit. And first of all, when we talk about investment, just again trying to compare the artistry now and how it was then, do you feel like that is really one of the things that is really lacking when it comes to, gospel artists or gospel ministers of this day and age, of our age, lack of wanting to invest in something? Just the way you mentioned, I'm here today, I just began today, tomorrow I want to be there. And also when you talk about this investing, break it down a bit. What exactly does it entail?
Investing, I'll break it down to investing. You see there's time.
Yes.
You really need time to be in studio. You really need time to pray. You really need time to interact. You really need time to go out and see what other people are doing out there. Because you'll not just get everything at the comfort of your home. Yeah. Like I want to hit, I want to sing like this. You really need exposure for you to maybe do something different. You don't need to get exposure for you to maybe I want to sing like this particular person. But you see, when you go out, you get ideas from people. And then now you're able now to come and do something even more than what they've done themselves.
So you have to put in the work, put in the effort, put in the time. This is actually what investment...
That's even finances. Ministry is not a joke. Finances, like... If you have people who believe in you and people who pray for you, they might not be financially supportive, but people who they're checking on you, they're asking how far, do you have this and this? Even if they'll not give you money, but you have that support. It's very important.
You feel like someone is actually backing you.
Exactly, yeah. Somebody's backing you up, like maybe probably sharing your music. It's not a must you support me financially. But you see, just checking on me, asking, sharing the link of my songs, you see, that's a very huge support.
And that's also another form of support, except just giving money.
Yeah, and we are not gifted in giving finances. There's somebody who is gifted in giving advices.
And it goes a long way.
It goes a long way. Like, I think if you do this, you might. You see, that idea is very important.
Okay. Again, also one thing you touched a bit on was... you look at how the industry is right now and how it was then, and you mentioned of back in the day, or at least a couple of years back, the artists or the ministers there would really do a lot of singing for a reason and a purpose. Does that mean that now that is not happening? People are not doing it for purpose and a reason? Because again, doing it for money and purpose is a whole different story. Yeah,
I think we've drifted a bit. I'm not saying, because you see, times are changing. Okay. We can't just do exactly when those guys used to do kitambo. Times are changing, and I really can't blame us, and I really can't blame hizo times za kitambo. It's just we really need to borrow from those times, because if you see the gospel artists, you can even feel yourself. Like there's a person who can do music right now. I do a song. It takes a month, and then that song is nowhere. You see, somebody like Angela Chibalonza, her songs are still living on. She's dead like several years ago, but her songs are still on. So I think also that is what I desire. I just don't want to do music for the sake of doing 1 month, 2 months, and then I'm nowhere. I really need to leave a legacy.
Or you do it for 1 month, 2 months, 1 year, you hit, we know you then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The foundation of it is very important. Before you do something, you really need to involve God. Ask God, which reasons am I doing this thing for? Is it for entertainment? Is it for just maybe having fun? Or is it your will? If it's God's will, no matter how long it takes, I believe you'll get somewhere eventually. Yeah, but don't do it with a motive, I want to hit, I want to get money. You will not get that money, you'll be disappointed.
So motive is, again, one of the things that one needs to be looking out for when they try to do whatever it is they want to do.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's come to your music and your journey as a person. You say that you are a gospel minister, and that's how you would describe yourself.
Yes.
So how was it like, for you starting out, and when did you begin doing gospel?
I started way back in high school, but I was
When you wale walianzia discover talent at least
zile.
kitambo.
But you see, they were not even in high school. I'd say when I was just young, but you see, you don't believe in yourself. You don't think something good can come out of you. And the people who are you are surrounded with people who are always negative, and maybe they think, this one cannot. But now you see, the best thing I did for myself was affirm myself. I used to tell myself, I know this is what I want to be, and I know I can do it. But you see now the fear, and also you don't have somebody maybe to tell you can do it. But now when I came to high school, I could sing on parade. I was in CU. So
that was in high school?
Yeah, in high school. So I was elected as the music director in high school, and I was like, they think I can do it. So if they think I can do it, I know I can do it. So I started from there. Then after high school, that is several years, I did my first single. That is Unishike Mkono.
That was your first song?
Yes, that was my first song. So I did an audio. Then after several months, I did the video. And then after that time, I sat down and thought to myself, like...
Which year is this?
2017.
2017.
Yes.
Okay.
I thought to myself, why are you doing this? Because I didn't have the courage to do a lot of things. I was very shy, by the way. I could not do anything. But somebody like my bishop in my church, Bishop Oshamominde, he could encourage me. He could just tell me to remember next Sunday you'll be singing for us. So I could go and start thinking, now sasa, how will I do it? How will I do it? And he's like, no, you'll have to do it. Ile utaacha ujinga. In fact, I remember his words, utaacha ujinga. You have to do it and you'll do it.
So someone who spotted like you had a talent in this.
He really, by the way, he saw the best in me when I couldn't. And he could because we used to have evening service, so I could just take a microphone and start singing before guys came in. I think he had, and he was like, I think you're joking.
Can actually sing.
Yes, I think you're joking. So he really sat me down and he told me, you have a talent, and it's not a talent because you have a good voice. It's something I see in you, and this is God. Yeah, so from there I started now accepting, I think
that I can actually do this.
I can do it, and it's not because I can do it because I have a voice. I think I can do it because God is calling me to
God has called you to this.
Yes.
This is actually a purpose.
Exactly.
You said something when you're talking to us about your journey, and this is that aspect of believing in yourself that you didn't think you could do it at the time. You were shy.
Yes.
I just want you to talk to us very briefly about that, because it becomes sort of those things that is more like a deterrent for people that have talent to do things. They know they can do this, but they feel like, how will I go about it? How will I do it? And do it? And you see, sometimes it just makes you not even make it in life. Not believing in yourself, not believing in your capabilities. Talk to us a bit about that.
Okay, for me, I wish I was... I don't wish. I grew up in an environment where, Ushago people don't understand about talents and all those things. So if you tell somebody... I remember telling my cousin, we were discussing, and she was like, me, I want to be a lawyer. And I told her, nitakuwa mwimbaji. She laughed. She was like, what are you saying? And the way you are shy. Wow. And I'm like... So that thing by the ilinisumbua sana, I was like, no, I have to do it. I have to prove her wrong.
So sometimes also telling your dreams to the wrong person.
Exactly. She really discouraged me, and I was like, it's okay. But me, I believed in myself, and I nilikata hizo words, and I was like, I know I can do it. So when you are in shock, nobody can really hold your hand, because I grew up with a grandmother. You see, grandmothers in ile Sunday to the church, we pray, we hold hands, we pray in the evening and all that. So when I came to Nairobi, I was like, so kumbe people can kuna these groups of singing. So I joined several bands, and in those bands, I believe I was the youngest. So I just sat back, and I wanted to learn, and I believe that is what has made me who I am today. Yes.
So actually you can, even in as much as, yes, that may be an issue, but just more like push yourself to it, because just from your story, it's like you as much as, yes, they said you can because you can't because you're shy, at least it's like going that extra mile, pushing yourself to do it.
Yeah, you have to. You have to really push yourself
to do it.
Because you see, guys, people will not even believe in you. And then when you start maybe showing maybe some results, they'll be like, oh, we knew you'll make it. And you're like,
but you weren't even supporting my craft.
But you say things.
Okay, you know, and keep going. Yeah. Now let's talk about your song, your first single, Unishike Mkono. That is the one. So how was it when we were releasing it? How was the reception like?
My first song, when I did that song, by the guys were happy. The guys who were around me in my church, guys were like, now this is what we've been waiting for. Now you can do it. Now, but you see now by that time, I had not really known about social media platforms, YouTube channels and all those things. I just did it. I was just like, okay, let me just do this song. I see how it will go. So
how will it turn out?
How it will turn out, yeah. So I did that song, and guys told me, you're really waiting for the next song. And I was like, no, I don't think I can do it. Let me take time and just think about what I want to do and the reason why I'm doing this. So I took about several years, 3 or 4 years. That's when I now did my second song after a very long time.
After a long time.
Yeah, that time it's not like I was just seated.
Doing nothing.
I was learning. I was in bands, I was singing in bands, but I was really at the back. I really didn't want to like be on the forefront. So I was just at the back.
So for you it was more like a learning curve in that process.
It was a learning curve, and I just wanted to listen from God. Where do you want to take me? What do you think I can do? So after that time, the voice was so strong. It was very strong. And then I felt like, I think now this is time.
This is
because even the songs I did, it took me a long time before I did the videos. You see, you go record a song and you're like, unaiacha studio. So even my producer could call me like, hizi songs ukuja uzitoe hapa. Me, I don't want these songs zinanijazia nini. And I'm like, I'll just come. Because sikuwa na hiyo conviction sana. I was like, But when I started doing it, things
flow. So again, also that is very important aspect.
Very important.
And I think also that is what probably brings that difference between a gospel artist, gospel minister. Like, you need to really be sure this is what God is calling you to do.
You can just record even 1,000 songs. There are those people who have 1,000 songs. And let me tell you, I always say, I don't have a voice. I go to events, I go to churches, and people sing, and I'm like, I think
this
you're
one
just
is gifted.
Ni favor. You know, favor and grace are different things. You might have a voice, you can even do 1,000 songs, but they are not getting anywhere. But you see, that is also God's timing.
Yeah, okay.
It will just come at time when God says, now this is your time.
This is it.
Just one simple thing.
And that's it.
Take you to nations, will take you, everybody will just get to know you.
Oh, okay.
But if it's not your time, we are also graced differently. There's somebody who can just come. You can just start singing right now, and then you see your song is a hit. And you're like, oh, I've been singing for the past 5-6 years, and nothing has been happening.
Again, so also that brings out that aspect of patience.
Yes.
Which we'll talk about a bit later. But let's stick a bit with your first song, Unishike Mkono. Tell us about the concept, the inspiration behind it.
Unishike Mkono came in 2016. I recorded in 2017. You see, that's where I had just finished high school. I'm a young girl. You see, now guys are coming. You see, now things are just happening. And you're like, God, what is happening? So you are like, I remember it was just at night in my mom's house, and I sat. I am a late night person, by the way. Yeah. So during those late nights, I take time to think. And just the chorus came. I was just like, Unishike Mkono, I don't want like to fall. Just hold my hand. Because if I don't depend on you, I'll just crash. So the chorus came, and I went to the studio, did the stanzas, and that was it. That's how the song came out.
That's how the song
Yeah, because you are now a teenager. A lot of things are happening around you. Peer pressure. Guys are in relationship. Your friends are married, even with kids, and you're like, guys are asking you what's not happening. And I'm like, oh my God, I think I just need you. So yeah, that's how the song came.
That's how the song came about. Yes. And I really would have loved my director to like give me a couple of other more 5 minutes, because I feel like there's quite a lot we need to exhaust. But let's talk about your song Salama, which at least you did after now that long a break.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that one.
After Unishike Mkono,
yes.
I did Ushindi.
Okay.
Mwaminifu, that is. There's a song Mwaminifu before now Salama. Salama is the latest.
Salama is the latest one.
Yes, I have Mwaminifu. I did maybe around 3-4 months ago. Then I came. Salama is around 2 months ago. So, yeah, Salama.
Your latest one now.
Pardon?
Your latest.
My latest.
Yes.
Yeah, Salama is quite a song that is so close to my heart.
Why?
It's because when I was doing this song, I really didn't know it will minister to me this year. I did the song like 2 years back. I recorded 2 years back. So I was like, ukiwa tunayosi ni salama. As in, it is just well.
It's easy, when you are at peace.
You are at peace. But you see, by the time I was doing that song, I really didn't know kuna time it will minister to me. So this year, when I was doing planning the video and all that, I sat down and it hit me. You are doing this song for this season. You are not doing it for that season. And yeah, it is just so close to my heart.
So close to your heart.
Yes.
Now, Mercy, due to the interest of time, as we finish up, what would you tell, especially upcoming gospel, I would like to call them gospel artists because they also refer to themselves as that way. So what would you like to tell such upcoming, gospel artists, especially in regards to patience? Very briefly as we wind up.